I'm making a 3D platformer where you take pictures in a small town in the Canadian Rockies, but before I can do that, I need a main character. I'm in no way trained as a character designer, so I like to draw a load of different face parts that I think could look good, and mix and match them until I have something I like. I then took inspiration from Canadian Boy Scout outfits for the clothes, again, doing a couple of different colours to see what works best together. I like the way the green and red complement each other here, and how nicely they go with the neutral creams and browns of the fur and ears. I basically want him to present as an overly eager preteen, who is doing everything that he can to impress his scout leaders, which means that I'm going to need to model him in a way that makes him as easily posable as possible so I can get really expressive animations. Getting the silhouette right is the main thing when working with low poly, so I'm being careful not to give certain parts of the model too much definition. Having parts on the edges like these big blocky hands or the pointy scarf gives it the impression that it's made on a tight polygon budget, as they're the elements of the main body your eyes are first drawn to. I like texture in Substance Painter, so after a fairly painless unwrap, I gave him some basic materials. I then tried to add definition by avoiding solid colour materials and hand painting each element with a gradient, especially in areas that would have heavy ambient occlusion or would be in shadow. In this case, because he's a model for a game, I can't be as specific with my lighting as I usually like to be, so he's just lit from above. I pixelate my models inside of Substance as well, using a filter called Pixel 8R by ActionDog. You get a load of nice noise and colour options. I personally use the Bayer pattern and make it more or less pronounced based on the edges of the model to make it just barely visible, which helps with the foggy PS1 aesthetic I want the game to have. The big problem now is that he doesn't have a name yet, which will get in the way of file names if I don't come up with something soon. The plan is to get him rigged this week so I can start playing around with movement demos in Unreal as soon as possible. So let me know what you think.